country or your state. And so you can be, tracking and logging everything to do with COVID to keep yourself and others safe and just aware if they've come in contact with somebody that was tested positive for COVID. Now, I also wanted to mention that I used the new feature in Settings General Software Update, Customize Automatic Updates. I used this today when I installed iOS 13.6.1, or I should say when I downloaded 13.6.1, because with this new feature, which was introduced in 13.6, I was able to just download the update and not install it. Even though I was plugged in and had enough battery and everything, you now get the option to download and not install, or of course to download and install. So I used that today, and I just wanted to say that it worked perfectly on my iPhone XS Max here. Now, I also want to talk about the VPN bug because I get asked this in every single update if it's been fixed yet. And I don't think it's been fixed in 13.6.1 because Proton VPN, the ones who originally found this vulnerability / bug, whatever you want to call it, they confirmed that it was still not fixed in iOS 13.6. And this bug was first introduced back in iOS 13.4. So it's been going on for months, and Apple has still not patched this major vulnerability with the VPNs in iOS, which is kind of alarming, and it definitely seems like something that can be easily fixed, but they have still not fixed it. And if you're still unaware as to what this bug is, I will leave a link down in the description below to a blog post from Proton VPN where they outline what this bug is. Essentially, it's a vulnerability where not all of your traffic gets passed through the VPN tunnel, and some of it can basically leak out and not use the VPN, which could be kind of dangerous if you're dealing with really important or really sensitive data. So definitely something to keep in mind. And it's probably not fixed here in 13.6.1 since it was not fixed in 13.6 and Apple did not mention it at all. But of course, if it has been fixed, if Proton VPN posts that it's been fixed, I will let you guys know in my follow-up video, which I always release after about a week of using the software. So that'll probably come either this weekend or early next week. So now let's talk about the performance in iOS 13.6.1. Now, I never made a follow-up video to iOS 13.6 only because iOS 14 came out around the time I was going to do that. And after that, I just pretty much covered all iOS 14 on this channel. So I didn't really get around to making a follow-up video for iOS 13.6. But I will say that the performance on that after a week of using it and now, after a month of using it has been excellent. Of course, I have not been using it as much as iOS 14 because that's my main focus now on the channel. However, I will say that it was very solid on my iPhone XS Max. I was also using it on my iPhone 7 Plus and a couple of other devices at the time, and things were great. And I would expect the same here in 13.6.1. And taking a look at the Geekbench scores here, you can see I have iOS 13.6 on the second row, 13.6.1 above it. So we got an 1117 here up top compared to 1116 on 13.6. And then the multi-core is actually higher in 13.6.1. So we got a 2855 versus 2745 and 13.6. So Geekbench tells us that 13.6.1 is a little bit better in terms of performance as well compared to 13.6. So now let's talk about the battery life in 13.6.1 and